So this was rather shocking, off the wall for me. I didn't know that people were Christian and in the closet, so to speak. And I don't mean in the closet for what most people think in the closet about. I really mean in the closet for being Christian. I didn't know that people had to suppress this so much, but this was an interesting take. And here we have this young woman who is in the closet for being Christian because she grew up atheist. She's around atheists. Her family celebrates atheism. They're all things atheism, all things against God, all things just no way, Jose. Like the entire family. Like she was born in what most people would consider a cult. But she's going to explain to us exactly what it was like for her to not even come out, because she didn't necessarily come out of the closet to her family. She's really been living a double life, keeping things on the DL. But let's get into this clip. Let's see what she has to say.
I'm an in the closet Christian. Let me explain. My whole family are atheists, complete atheists. I don't have any friends that believe in God or follow God. I certainly did not believe in God. Believed in like the universe and law of attraction, law of vibration, that sort of stuff. I was always very spiritual. None of my friends believe in God, and my family are hardcore atheists. And I've just come back from church all by myself for the third time now. I just go in there, slide in the back and sit by myself. I'm so aware that my friends are going to think it's weird. I'm so aware that my family are going to think I'm brainwashed and in a cult. My family think that I'm out for brunch right now. When I tell you I went through the lowest, darkest, hardest point in, like I sort of had a 5-year run of terrible things. And when I say terrible things and heartache and beyond heartache, 2023 was one of the lowest points in my life and the lowest I had ever been, and I went through some horrific things and real mental health problems, and was led to find a God that I didn't even believe in. And I didn't want to find God. I didn't want to be religious. I still feel weird about the term religion. I didn't want to associate with that. I thought everyone that went to church was weird. I thought people that believed in God were really traditional and old-fashioned, and they didn't understand this world. And also thought they were really judgmental of people and of people's sexualities and of the way people dress. And I just thought, I hate that. I hate everything about that. Will never be me. I also grew up in an atheist household, so there's that. But after going through just a period of life where I just thought I wasn't going to live anymore, I had no choice but to believe in a God that I didn't believe in. So let this be your sign. Like, even if you're slightly curious, even if you're not curious, but you've just had these miraculous experiences, even if you haven't experienced miracles and you're in the hardest point of your life, open your heart this much. And so many people are deterred from finding God because they think that it's all about rules and obedience and it's freedom. It's like literal freedom. My girls that are into manifesting and crystals and law of attraction and vibes and manifesting good things in your life, please find God. I didn't even do it to manifest stuff in my life, but the stuff that has come is just miraculous. I will never pick up a crystal again. Just open your heart this much, that much, and watch real magic. Like, not crystal magic, not manifestation magic. Watch real magic unfold in your life. I can't tell you where I was and the things I was going through and the way I was feeling about myself, about life, about my future, to where I am now is a miracle in and of itself.
It's crazy. It's very crazy to me that it's sad, I believe, that there are people like this that have to closet themselves and hide their faith. Like, what kind of world are we living in? What direction are we really going into where people really just can't just trust God? People can't believe in God. People can't acknowledge Jesus Christ. Like, but I'm glad that she is still going and she's able to see the beauty in God, in doing, you know what I mean? What he wants her to do for her life and in her life. Like, that's the beauty about this situation. But more interesting than that, what we're going to hear after this, which I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know, like, what's the update? Like, is she keep on with this? Like, is her life going in this direction where she's just going to keep hiding and keep living this double life? Like, how are people not going to know about this? Like, she's talking about it on the internet, so at some point in time, somebody's got to know, right? Well, she did provide an update on what happened where her family, in fact, did end up finding out. I'm not going to leak the information on what happened. I'm going to let you watch it. But all I'm going to say is, I was once again, because not only was I shocked about the fact that there were Christians out here that had to be in the closet for being Christian. Now, I know that there's Christians that are in the closet because they're gay, but I've never really met a Christian who's in the closet for being Christian until right now. So I was shocked about that. And also, I'm shocked about how this situation panned out. But it's interesting as to why I was shocked. And I believe that even she's going to explain to each and every one of us why it's interesting that we, the believer, the person that has the relationship with God, would be so shocked at the outcome of this situation. Let's get into this.
But a few things have happened. I live in a very small coastal town. Currently, it's the town I grew up with. I'm actually moving next week, which is good timing. But I'm moving out next week. But anyway, life has just led me back to this coastal town that I grew up with. Everyone knows everyone. Gossip spreads, whether it's good gossip or bad gossip, it spreads. And so after posting that video and coming on, really nervous, but hoping it would help someone, which I'm so glad it did. I need to spit my chewy out. After coming on TikTok, being really nervous because it's not something that I, like, obviously I spoke about in the video. My family don't go to church. I didn't have any friends that go to church. I met one friend at church who was just like, the biggest blessing in my life. She is so beautiful. So that's been amazing. That's another thing that's sort of come from being more bold and open. But as I said, yeah, my family didn't go to church. None of my friends go to church. The algorithm works in the strangest ways, and I wish it didn't. But one of my friend's mums saw the video and proceeded to send it to my mum. She also proceeded to show it to other mums in the community whose kids I grew up with, and proceeded to send it around like we're in high school and we're all in one big hometown group chat. So good for her for doing that. Anyway, she sent it around. She made it out as if I was losing the plot. She made it out as if I'd gone like AWOL, and she wasn't supportive of it. Let's just put it that way. We're not here to slam anyone. Anyway, my mum finds out, who I thought, all of my life, I thought was a hardcore atheist. And I know she's going to watch this video. But she was really open. Like, we sat down and, like, literally, thank God, we sat down and we had the most beautiful, like, 2-hour conversation sitting in the sun. And after I explained to her what I'd been through mentally, what I'd been through in my life, she saw the transformation and heard the words that I was speaking and heard the way I was speaking. And yeah, she was really open. And it's not for me to come on here and speak about her beliefs, but she even said she might come to church with me one day. So, like, it's amazing what the power of boldness and speaking out and just being your complete authentic self can do. So afraid of my family finding out, but I was afraid. They weren't judgmental. I was the one that was like terrified of them finding out and judging me. That was in my heart. It wasn't in theirs. I don't know. Let this be your sign to be your most authentic self and not give a flying F about what some small town mum thinks about the TikTok that you posted. You know, in the scheme of the world, your small hometown is this big, and the person spreading gossip about you and your life and your healing journey, your transformation from going from the lowest place in your life to one of the best, that person in this tiny little small town is about that big. And let this be your sign to not give a flying heck about what people think, and you do you. And if you're open to exploring faith, you should, because it has just 180'd my life, and it's 180'd me. Oh, it's amazing. So
That's powerful, man. And like I said, the reason that it was interesting that even like she said, and for me too, as the believer, we kind of projected something onto the atheists where we thought because we are who we are, they automatically are going to hate us. But you can never be amazed, cease to be amazed, if you will, with what God can actually do. And that's when it comes to Christianity, because I know a lot of people, they hide their Christianity or they hide their faith in God around certain people because they're afraid of being judged. Because we have this natural judgment in us. So we tend to project that onto other people. But I would just encourage you, furthermore, as she encouraged, you got to be you, man. You got to be bold enough to be able to be who you are in Christ, no matter what. Unapologetic about it. Because it's the only way that truly God will be able to use you. See, but if we run away from who we are, who God has created us to be, we ain't going to be used, bro. We're just not. And it's interesting that, and I'm just glad, and I'm happy that she doesn't have to be in the closet about this anymore. And then even that lady in the neighborhood, the other hometown mom who tried to make it negative and tried to make it a bad thing and putting these negative connotations onto something that is pure, onto something that is good and simple. Even that's a ploy of the enemy. That was a tactic of the enemy. It didn't work. And now her and her mother, soon to be, eventually, I'm sure, will be going to church together. And you just see how God is able to make that work. Just little by little, man. Little by little. Too many times we don't focus on the little things that God is doing in people's lives that are so big and so beautiful. Because this kind of stuff is important too, man. But shout out to this girl that she doesn't have to be closeted anymore. Like I said, I learned something new today. Maybe some of you learned something new today as well. I didn't even know that there was a such thing as closeted Christians. But if you are a closeted Christian, you're hearing this, man, it is time for you to step up, step out, and come out. And be who you are in Christ, man. And do not be ashamed of it, because there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ anyways. But that's all I got for you guys on this one, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to this girl. Continue to pray for her in the spirit, that she continue to be strengthened, man. All the attacks are gonna come to her because of what they come from and what she's already been accustomed to, of being in an atheist family and raising up that way. So keep her in her prayers, man. Keep other closeted Christians who are out there in the world in your prayers, that they get the strength in Christ to come out and be strong and confident in Christ to carry out that will in their lives. But that's all I got, guys. To the next one. I'm out.